Drake continues to be in the news, it seems like, after his battle with Kendrick, which I think we can all clearly agree that Kendrick won, but I know there's going to be people immediately in the comments. There's that one dude on every Instagram post. You guys have definitely seen him. You've definitely seen him. One guy who's on the bottom of every single Instagram post. Okay? And all he says is, the world is ignoring that Drake really won the battle of the century 20v1 with the world against him. It's like the same comment on every single... I don't know if he's a bot, if he's just glazing Drake and wants Drake to notice him, if it's payroll, I do not know. Okay, but this OVO stan is on every post telling me that Drake won the battle, and I still cannot, in my right mind, see where he's coming from. But you guys let me know, okay? We can get into that in a different video. If you think Drake won the battle, just let me know how. I don't see it, but that's for another video. Okay, this is about Drake's reference tracks that continue to leak. The first one today was Vory, who was actually a part of the Donda 2 rollout and the Donda 1 rollout. He has a lot of features. He has a lot of Kanye reference tracks as well that didn't make the album. Interesting to see him having worked with Drake before. I don't know if he worked with Drake previous to Kanye at this point, because this is 2018, or if he was in Ye's camp too. But Vory is a super talented singer-songwriter. If you don't know who he is, his music is super dope too. But behind the scenes, he's done a lot more than people even realize. And there's this reference track for Mob Ties specifically that leaked that a lot of people are kind of confused about. A lot of people don't know what to think about. Some people are upset about. We're going to get into that song, but we're going to also take a look at every single reference track that I can find of Drake's and go back to back with what the songs sound like, no pun intended, on back to back, because there is some rumors about that song itself. But let's get into this one. So this is Drake's Mob Ties reference, allegedly sang by Vory, sorry, not Roy. Roy from Rory and Mal. But let's get into this part.
See these bitches, hire shooter, you really be bitches, and I'm on my riches. I turn up the bitch, I turn up the bridge, it is what it is, sure. Black Porsche, cause I let my movie fast. Watch your homie if he moving on his ass. In the rocket and that bitch ain't got no tax.
So what a lot of people also don't realize, I'm going to play the rest of it, but what a lot of people don't realize about reference tracks, and first of all, my name is Jeremy Hecht. If you guys are new here, I do hip-hop videos, I do rap lyric breakdowns. A lot of my videos were trending throughout the Kendrick-Drake battle, but beyond that, I'm on the Bigger Picture debate show with Elliot Wilson, DJ Head on Hip Hop DX. I do all their interviews. I've been on before. They were famous before. I've been memed on there. Some of you know me from that. I host a lot of events in LA. If you don't know me, but I've been in the music industry behind the scenes for about 10 years now. So I know how a lot of this stuff works. I've been in studios. I've been around high-level people in labels. I've been around radio. So I kind of know how some of this stuff works for some of you who might be outside of the game. And for those of you who are in the music industry, you might even be able to add in the comments to some of this conversation. But the way a reference track works, for a lot of people who don't know, is it may be that Drake wrote these lyrics and gave them to someone else to flow, or to get the cadence, or to get the melody. It may be that a room full of people was coming up with these, and Vory happened to be the person recording it. It may be that Drake said, hey, here's the beat, or Boy Wonder sent Vory the beat, and Vory literally wrote, recorded, did the melodies, did the harmonies, sent it back to Drake, and Drake interpolated that on his song Mob Ties in order to actually turn it into his own, or someone else came in the room and added their pen to it. There's a million different ways that these reference tracks could work. So it's not necessary that you can come to the conclusion that, Vory necessarily wrote the whole thing, but it's interesting to hear. So let's take a listen, and then we can dissect.
Louis bags in exchange for body bags, yeah. I'm sick of these niggas, hey. I'm sick of these bitches, huh. Sire shooter, really these bitches, huh. Fuck what it was, hey. It is what it is, yeah. And I'm with the shits. It is what it is, and I'm so tired. Yeah, I fought with a mob and I got ties. Yeah, they'll knock you off and pay their ties. Yeah, they want me gone but don't know why. Yeah, it's too late for all that hubby-dubby shit. I don't trust that you my brother shit. This why I'm done giving in. This why I made myself a man. Oh yeah. Say, yeah, it's too late, it's too late, it's too late for all that. Too late.
So you hear the tone, you hear the inflection, you hear the melody. A lot of what Drake did on that song came from the inspiration, likely from Vory on this reference track, and likely he sent it to him with an idea. You know, a lot of the times with these reference tracks, it might be like, hey, I want to do something where I'm going at everybody's head. It's kind of an aggressive beat. Give me something that I can take shots at people. Maybe even referencing like, hey, I want to take shots at Kanye a little bit on this. You never know. Or it could just be Vory being like, hey, I wrote you this shit. Fill in the blanks. And Drake might be like, oh, let me add a bar here. Let me add a bar here. But if you heard Mob Ties, you know it sounds pretty much the exact same with the melodies.
Sick of these niggas. Hide some help.
Also, I'm kind of glad that he switched out bitches there, because if he would have said Vory's initial track, I think, what did he say? So I'm sick of these bitches, hire some help, get rid of these bitches. Sounds like a little more aggressive than if you're doing it towards guys. But anyways, pause. Not a pause. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna get rid of guys in the sense of like on some Mob Ties. But anyways,
Get rid of these niggas. Sick of this shit. Move to the Ritz. Turn out the bitch. It is what it is, yeah.
so even that "it is what it is," yeah, came from that reference.
Yeah, elite, cause that Lambo moving fast. S class, G class, lot of class. In a rocket and that bitch ain't got no tags. Louis bags in exchange for body bags.
That's also a line that a lot of people thought was directed towards X, and let me know if you want. We can cover that in a different video. But so that was the first one. Then more reference tracks continued to leak. This one was from Party Next Door's reference track for Ratchet Happy Birthday. Now, I will say that some of these songs, I'm not disappointed at all. Okay, if I don't find out that Drake wrote, potentially, in my opinion, one of his bottom 5 songs ever. Ratchet Happy Birthday, it did what it needed to. Okay, it is what it is. No pun intended on the song before. But it's not a good song. And it wasn't well written. And it didn't seem like there was much effort put into it. So I'm not like devastated that Drake didn't write this. Now, I was devastated when I found out Drake didn't write a lot of his stuff. This is Kid Cudi. A lot of his stuff when it came to some of his earlier work with If You're Reading This. But this, I don't know. Anyways, but let's listen.
It's your fucking birthday. It's a fucking celebration.
And I'm sure there's a lot more party tracks for this game.
Tonight we celebrate. It seems like time's out of our control. It's a celebration. Oh, yeah. It's your birthday, baby, it's your birthday. And who gonna love you when you in your worst day? You talk so tough, I know. You're so fly, buttercups, Reese's, don't be ridiculous. Just
I mean, that bar, that flow, that melody is pretty much to a T of what the song sounds like.
say your piece and piece up like a bees. Cool your head.
That whole thing was like pretty much the exact same. And YouTube, please don't copyright us for listening to this.
Seems like time's out of our control. It's a celebration. Oh, it's your birthday, baby. It's your birthday.
Pretty identical. We're not gonna listen to too much more of that, but yeah, it's even the Reese's Pieces. That line was pretty identical. So there's more party ones where that came from. This was a reference track that I heard years ago that just resurfaced. So this one kind of hurt. I remember hearing this and I was like, oh, fuck, I thought that this was something that Drake... And again, I can't necessarily say that this is just a one-way street where Drake is getting these songs and recording them to a T afterwards. He might be part of the writing process and Party might be coming up with flows, but it's weird to hear. It's weird to hear.
Oh, you pulling shit together, I can tell, baby. Is you single or what? I need a girl from the country. I need a girl from Kentucky. I need a shawty from Houston. I need a girl who gon' love me. I need a girl who gon' trust me. Someone to fuck me. Someone to make me feel lucky.
So that was pretty much to a T. That one, you know what I mean? Yeah. What do you guys think of that? I don't know. Do you think Party wrote the whole thing and just Drake kind of took it and put it on his song? It's one of my favorite songs off, if you're reading this. What's the song name of that? Let me see. You guys are probably already in the comments like, bruh, you don't remember what it's called? Damn, he's released a lot of music, actually. Let me see. I'm looking on Spotify right now, if you're wondering. I don't know if the scroll showed up. It is Company. All that just to figure out what Company was. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, that one's kind of crazy, but let's see. I think there was more from that album, too. That whole album was just other people's reference tracks. If I die, oh knows I'm a motherfucking legend. It's too late for my city. I the youngest nigga rapping on. And you can tell also that some of these are reference tracks just because it's like that wasn't clearly gonna be album sounding. That wasn't like Party was trying to sound good. I think he was really just showing here's how the flow shows. Here's how the tone and the cadence is supposed to be, and then you're supposed to put your flavor on it when you go in and you make it sound good with auto-tune and the effects and the reverb and that goes and stuff like that. I will say Drake does have a unique ability to make songs sound good because a lot of these people might be able to do this and record the same song and it wouldn't be a hit. And Drake does have star power to do that. And you could argue it's just him being a big name, but I do think that he has something when it comes to his tone and the finishing touches he puts on songs that make them sound even better. I that's my personal opinion, but like you said, back to back. They just mad because I got the Midas touch.
When I pull up on a nigga, tell that nigga bad back. I'm too good with these words, watch a nigga bad track. If I die, all I know is I'm old money, new women, gotta keep it bouncing.
Now, this is the one that started the whole Meek Mill beef. This Rico reference track is the one that actually started Meek tweeting, Drake ain't even write his verse, and he ain't tweet on my album. He heard this, what you're hearing right here. So this is what actually started that beef and let us know that Drake had writers. This verse right here.
The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge.
Because Meek thought that Drake was taking shots at him when he said, the girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge. So when Drake said that on the song and Meek was dating Nicki at the time, Meek thought Drake was taking a shot at him like, wait, your girl is... He's like, you're talking about my girl is not a challenge for you? Like, why are you saying this on my song? Because I know you like Nicki. Are you taking... And then he heard this and he said, oh, you didn't even write this. So I can't be offended, but I can be offended that you're acting like you're the greatest rapper out and you didn't write your own stuff. And I've been working hard writing my own stuff, so...
I've been counting it out so many times I couldn't count it.
Quinn's flow was crazy.
Sauce dripping like water. Yeah. All right. Old ways, new women, gotta keep a balance. The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge. I've been counting it out so many times I couldn't count it.
This is a hard verse.
See how it goes. Oh.
This is 10 bands,
okay,
yeah.
10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man. I'm trying to run through the budget. Niggas sleep, I ain't tripping, I'ma let them sleep. When I get it, nigga, recipe. I can tell you how it happened. I can tell you about them safe house nights on Calabasas.
And you can tell he's writing from Drake's perspective, too, which is the other thing about a reference track. or a writer is a lot of times they write from the perspective of the artist. So he's talking about being in Calabasas and safe houses. It's not things that he's living at the time, but he knows Drake is living it. Snoop Dogg has a lot of people write for him, and Diddy had a lot of people write for him at the time. We won't get into him. Pause. No Diddy. But when people write for these mega superstars, they write from their perspective, using all of the lens and the things that they've gone through in order to be creative.
I can tell you not a rapper.
10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man. Let's just not even discuss it, man. OMG, niggas sleep. I ain't tripping, I'ma let them sleep. I can tell you how it happened. I can tell you about them safe house nights out in Calabasas. I can tell you not a rapper.
Those were more rap songs. This is more of like an R&B song. Like, for example, like it was pretty open. Drake was pretty open about talking about Majid Jordan writing Hold On, We're Going Home for him. It was their song. So when it comes to an R&B or a pop song, I don't think anyone's really overly concerned if you wrote it or not, especially a hook in hip-hop. If you write a hook for somebody, you take a hook, it's not really a big deal. It's really the verses that people are worried about. So that company verse potentially is on the cusp of melodic rap. 10 Bands is definitely a rap song. Rico is definitely a rap song, but Grease by DJ Khaled, I don't think anyone would have cared if Drake.
We can stop at Gucci, stop at Louis V. Yeah. Come with me, fly you out to grief. Full speed, so volley Paris. Yeah. Come with me, leave all like.
Count money, you know how it goes.
This was the one that Meek used in the diss track too. Funk Flex dropping bombs on the song.
Running through the 6 with my woes. Count money, you know how it goes. Pray to real live forever, man.
So, anyways, that was probably like 7 reference tracks. I know there's probably a few more, so you can let me know in the comments which ones we're missing. But yeah, the conversation is interesting here because basically it's like we all know at this point that Drake doesn't write all of his stuff. It is very clear. It's clear that he's had help, and I think he's admitted at this point. He said in his Elliott Wilson and Beat On interview with Rap Radar, I think he said, if I have to be the person to start the conversation about ghostwriting, it's cool with me. But this also doesn't mean that Drake doesn't have a pen. Like, I think that those are two nuanced things. To say that Drake can't write is also just incorrect. Like, he's written for other people. Like, there's very much, like, I'm pretty sure there's gotta be something where it's like Drake writing, here, let's just do this. Songs Drake wrote for other people. And let's just watch a short because I don't want to watch. All right, let's do the.
Here are songs that Drake
boys.
wrote for other artists, starting off with Drake's work on The Life of Pablo, which we've spoken about already, but he co-wrote Father Stretch My Hands Part 1, he co-wrote Facts, and he also co-wrote 30 Hours.
So when Drake was dissing Pusha T and Pusha T called Drake out for ghostwriting as well, Drake said, Father had to stretch his hands out and get it from me. I pop style for 30 hours and then let him repeat. He was referencing this song, and then pop style, which he probably helped Kanye write his verse as well when they had a song together.
Which is interesting because it's a very personal Ye song where he's going into one of his previous relationships. But Drake also wrote Yikes for Kanye West from the Ye album. He also...
I was just over by y'all putting pen to the sheets. That's what he said on the Pusha diss.
Wrote Heated by Beyonce, and there's actually a reference track of that one that you can find on YouTube, and he sounded amazing on it, by the way. But Drake also co-wrote the song Unthinkable by Alicia Keys. He also wrote Live Up to My Name by Baka Non Nice, which is an absolute banger.
Baka got a weird case, though. Why is he around? All right, continue.
The track for that is crazy. It's
Absolutely.
available. Yeah, I've heard that one. It's
and
crazy.
last but not least, he also wrote Yesterday by Diddy.
Oh, really?
Just pretty legendary for Drake to write for Diddy. Here.
That didn't age well. But all of that to say, and shout out to the NFR boys, all that to say, Drake can write, okay? So I don't want this conversation to turn into a Drake can't write conversation. But I think what it is interesting is the conversation that Kendrick brought to life a little bit more on Not Like Us is Drake going to all of these other people, not just for style or not just for the swag or not just for the hot sound, but for culture. And all these reference tracks put together, it's like Drake is going to these other people for their culture, taking it, using it for his own. A lot of the times they're not getting credit, and there's a difference between writing credits and ghostwriters, of course. You know, Vory was a credited writer on that song, so it's different. But I think that that's the conversation that Kendrick was trying to bring to the forefront. Now, I know a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, you're a white guy in hip-hop, this conversation isn't for you. Fair. We don't have to have the conversation right here. I'm just putting that thought out there and wanted to see what you guys think about it. But interesting stuff. What do you guys think is next, though? Is more going to leak? Is there more reference tracks? The one that I'm not 100% sure of, and I want to close on this one, is there's a rumor that Drake's back-to-back was written by Daylight, who is a battle rapper. Now, it's not confirmed, and it is very much a rumor, so I don't know that there's any evidence, but let's just see what this is, okay? But I think Kendrick may have also alluded to it on Euphoria when he said back-to-back, I like that record. I'm going to get back to that record. I know he also meant he was going to drop songs back-to-back because he dropped 616 in LA, but I think there's more to that song than we think. Okay, that one's not available.
Got some problems. Told you I was working with Triple X. No reply to my text. Now that he died, I regret not sending the verse back. But what's even worse, you know he came and tried to murk that boy. Oh, I'm talking too much.
Excited to see what Daylight's gonna be.
Damn, he's really talking about Drake and X and okay.
Have a seat, let him settle and don't be scared. If this is just a settlement, then settle with theirs. I set up nice writing, don't get the credit I deserve. I'm the one sending references, I'm who edit them words. I don't have to be credited.
So he's talking about ghostwriting on this. He said, I don't need to be credited. I'm the one who edits the words. So what we were talking about earlier, where Daylight could be referring to the fact that maybe he's even getting a reference track, or he's giving a reference track and getting a version back, and then he's actually tweaking the bars, which could happen.
I just check for the debit deposit, observe. Why you sit and observe? I did service for all of them platinum hits in the live jam. You know, let there be light was God's plan. You think I jot with God hands? I was being a handyman, hamburger.
He referenced God's Plan. I don't know if he had anything to do with that song.
Helper for the logo, jumped in the meat beat just for the promo. I guess it's how the show go when you show low respect.
He said jumped in the meek beef just for the promo, meaning he could have had something to do with that. That's, again, this is what he's saying. This is alleged, but
For those who respect and neglect you, I was the first Adonis. I made you pop, you ain't tell the world who I was. Stay quiet, chillin', was mad but held back, ain't had a right feeling. Just know when they too fake, you right with them, don't write with them. You tight with them, you stuck in a height where they just tell you to tight. Don't get the invite to the mansion party, I see how did you do. I had the location, got it from Nuno. You asked me to come and battle at the function. Don't fuck with the sunken places, just a taste, I ain't fucking with you. Oh, we got some problems. Told you I was working with Triple X, no reply to my text. Now that he died, I regret not sending the verse back. But what's even worse, you know he came and tried to murk that boy. Oh, I'm talking too much.
Excited to see what Daylight's gonna be.
Yeah, so interesting. Very interesting stuff. But yeah, I'm going to end the video there. Let me know if you think Back to Back did have Daylight's pen on it. Let me know what bars. Let me know if you think other songs. I would be heartbroken if I found out Back to Back wasn't written by Drake. Especially when he says, you know, they just mad I didn't write enough. They just mad I don't write enough. They just mad I got the Midas touch or whatever the bar was. If I found out like You and the Six wasn't written mostly by Drake, I'd be devastated. Timestamp Records. There's a lot of songs that I'd be hurt. And I've already gotten over the fact that Drake does have ghostwriters. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Nobody else has told you it today. I love you. Peace.